April 2001, 5 months before the world changed for good. My name is Ben Alonso. Today we'll be going over some of the entertainment aspects, events, and statistics of April 2001. Some of the music, there was festivals going on, there was artists that were topping the charts as well as movies that were topping the charts, and there was like one major event that happened at the beginning of April. As far as music goes, the big festival Coachella was happening actually on my birthday, April 28th. Some of the performers that were there were Jane's Addiction, Weezer, Iggy Pop, Gang Starr, Fatboy Slim, and The Roots. And Janet Jackson was at the top of the charts on my birthday with her song All For You. This is stated by bestofdate.com. The movie Driven was a movie that was at the top of the charts, and imdb.com outlines the story as a character called Jimmy Bly, who is a race car driver. He's starting to lose his focus and kind of falling in the rankings of the races. And the car owner named Carl Henry is trying to get him to regain his focus so he can do better in the races. So he brings in a former racer named Joe Tonto, and Joe is trying to help him get back on his focus and start racing again good. But Joe also kind of has his problems too, because he recently was in a crash that almost ended his life, so he kind of has to balance out that and also trying to help Jimmy back in the races. The actors that were in that movie were Sylvester Stallone, who played Joe, Burt Reynolds, who was Carl Henry, and then Kip Pardue, who was Jimmy Bly, the race car driver. For the event that happened at the beginning of April, from infoplease.com, said there was a plane crash between a U.S. aircraft and a Chinese aircraft in China. The two planes collided and there was damage to them. The Chinese plane went down, and then because of the damage to the U.S. plane landed in a Chinese air base, and the Chinese people there took them into hostage because they blamed the U.S. aircraft for the presumed death of the Chinese aircraft. And that happened on April 2nd, the plane crash. Then on April 3rd, China at the airbase said that they were not going to release the crew member of the U.S. plane until the United States from Washington sent out an apology for what happened. So on April 10th, the U.S. submitted their formal apology for what happened to the Chinese crew members. And then on April 12th, the crew was released back, all 24 of them back, so they could go home. Some of the statistics from this time, from the Federal Highway Administration, the gas prices in April 21 were right around $1.55, and that is only about a 15-cent difference from what it is now. Of course, gas prices have dropped a lot recently, but compared to now, it is like right around 170-ish around here, so only about 15 cents. And the average household income back then was about 40 to 50,000, and now it is about 65,000 in the United States. So those are kind of the highlights of some of the music, the entertainment, some events that happened, and also some statistics from that time compared to now. It is definitely a whole different time, as I mentioned at the beginning. After 5 months, when September 11th happened, the world kind of changed after that, and a lot of prices, different things have happened, and obviously we are in a pandemic now that kind of affects the way that we think and everything. But I hope you learned something from this video about what was happening back then in April 2001, and I appreciate everybody for watching. Thank you.